This is Mo Bashir for The Hook. Delighted to be joined by the Romford Bull, Mr. Johnny Fisher. Johnny, firstly, thanks so much for agreeing to speak to me. How are things?
Good, mate. Good, all good in the hood. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. I'm all good. We were speaking a little bit off camera, and I read that you were doing a history degree at Exeter University, and you played rugby on the side as well. Why boxing?
It's always been my first love. I mean, there's videos of me at my 5th birthday party shadowboxing to Eye of the Tiger in front of all my mates in my school hall. But I grew up watching Rocky. All my brothers done boxing at the clubs, but I was the one who stuck at it. And it was a time when I wasn't boxing, but it came back and it's led me to this point. So there was times I was going to be a barrister, I was going to do this, I was selling meat on a van with my dad. We was all different things, but boxing's been something that I've always loved, and I want to keep that love alive, you know.
And so you did history at uni. You've gone on to become a professional boxer. Whilst you were at uni, did you ever imagine that you could go on to sort of do what you've done?
No. When I was at university, the first thing I wanted to do was be a professional rugby player. And I was good at certain aspects of rugby, but other things I was very raw at. I couldn't go up in a line-out properly. I weren't very good at scrummaging. I'd never been taught really, but I was good at ball carrying. My defence needed work, but I loved it. I had a great time, but something wasn't right and something was missing still. And then it was about becoming a barrister as well, doing the conversion course. That was my plan. Then COVID happened and it was disaster for everything. Everyone, my dad, I had to help him with his business. It's well documented, all this stuff. And then the plan before that was to become a barrister, but I fell back into boxing again because of COVID. So we've got a lot of bad things happen through COVID, but good things come from it as well. So yeah, that's what led me to this point.
And then what was the turning point for you? Obviously you mentioned COVID, but the path to becoming a professional boxer, what was that turning point like?
It started with my mate Zane. He's from Dagenham, but we're both down in Exeter Uni. And I saw him doing some pads, and that was the spark that relit my fire to become a boxer again. Not even a professional, just to get the interest back. And it was because of him I started doing it again. Then I sparred Joe Joyce, and Joe Joyce is now my really good friend, but we weren't friends at the beginning. He's one of them characters you've got to become his friend over time. He won't be friendly to you straight away. Sparred him, and at the time it was S-Chan Boxing with Sam Jones and Adam Morley. Them two gave me the chance to turn professional because they saw the tickets I sold. They knew I was absolutely raw, but I showed them what I'm capable of, and I've got raw attributes, and I never dreamed that I'd be a professional boxer now on MATCHROOM and with Eddie Hearn and on DAZN. So sometimes in life I think it's a message about don't think about stuff, just do it. Don't overthink. I was saying it on one of them interviews. Sometimes when you think about things too much, you think about the possibilities of how things go wrong, but back then I didn't think, I just done it, just did it, and I've ended up in this position, so I've got to carry on in that same vein.
Are there any elements of your, this might sound like a bit of a daft question, but are there any elements of your history degree that have come in useful in boxing?
So sorry.
Oh, it's alright, don't worry. Any elements of your history degree, maybe like the analytical side of things, that, the
analytical stuff.
Do you sort of use that?
The main skill of being a historian is being able to think critically. Why is someone trying to tell you this? Why is someone trying to do this? Or what are they trying to convey? Not about the information itself, but ask yourself what are they trying to convey to you through this information? You're going to have a fact, right? And a fact can be diced up and it can be dissected and structured in a way to suit an argument. So the same thing can be said about promoters, managers, things like that. You've got to ask what you're being asked to do here and why you're being asked to do it. It teaches you to ask why, critically thinking about things. So that's a skill from history that conveys and goes around to all different things, you know?
Has that then helped you on the business side of things as well? Because, when you're presented with an offer.
Also than my history degree, the thing that's taught me of how to conduct yourself in business is being a straight shooter, and that comes from my dad and my granddad. Always be straight up, always tell the truth, don't double cross people, be loyal until someone makes a mistake themselves. Just because some people act in a certain way doesn't mean that you should. And boxing is very easy to go and be under the dagger or use a cloak and dagger, but that's not my way. And if you can be honest about that and be honest with yourself and be true to yourself, then whatever happens is meant to happen the way that God told you to do it. So be a straight shooter always, and that goes for any business, I think.
And then, obviously, you touched upon becoming a barrister. Is that something that you would consider doing after you?
Not now. It's a hard job to be a barrister. My aunt is a barrister. She works in criminal. Hello, Eddie. How are you, mate? Good. All good. Smart. It's a hard thing to be a barrister. She works in criminal law. It's quite morally hard to be as well if you're defending people. But right now, what do I want to do after boxing? After boxing, I'd love to be involved in helping, owning a gym or something like that, and helping other people, young kids, and in boxing clubs. I think you get joy in life out of giving stuff back as well. Obviously, we've all got to earn a living, but it's enjoyable giving stuff back as well, going into boxing clubs and stuff like that. I like to be involved in boxing in some capacity, but I don't know. Part of that, the whole thing about business as well, is don't try and look too far ahead for myself either. When you do that, things go wrong. Just focus on the here and now. And here and now, we're here and we're doing an interview, so I'm enjoying that.
Thank you. And I guess there's a balance, right, that you got to have, because a lot of people tell you that, especially as a professional athlete, that you maybe need to look ahead into the future, because this doesn't last forever. So with that being said, what would you categorize as a successful career for you as a boxer, maybe when you retire at 35, 36 years of age?
I've already made that mistake of looking ahead with my boxing career. When I looked ahead, I overlooked. So yeah, you can have little irons in the fire and think about it, but there is no ahead, there is no future if you don't take care of the here and now. So my advice, it might not be the answer you want to hear, but don't think about what's next. Do what's in front of you right now. And the path, I promise you, will become clear from there.
I want to ask you a little bit about adversity as well, because you suffered your first defeat against Dave Allen. What did you learn about yourself from that defeat? And did it change anything going into your career going forward? Maybe into the, sorry, no, you won the first time round, but then second time round. Did that, when you lost second time round, did it change anything? Did it change your approach or anything like that?
Sometimes you've got to say no to things, or say no and speak up a little bit more. I mean, as a professional boxer, you're the leader of your camp. You're the one who's steering the ship. You might have a trainer, but you're the one who takes accountability when a loss is there. And I took full accountability. But there's things that I could have spoke up about in the training camp. There's things that I think I should have done differently. But sometimes it's easy to say that in hindsight. In the moment, we thought we was doing the right thing. All of us, my whole training team, me, Sonny, Mark Tibbs at the time, my dad as well. So it's easy with hindsight to say you could have done this, could have done that, and it might still not have worked out. But what it has taught me, and sometimes it takes a loss to realise this, is if you deal with adversity, when you go through adversity, it teaches you to be a little bit more disagreeable. And being disagreeable is a good trait in business.
Learning how to say no.
Yeah, say no sometimes. Sometimes, and when you say no, you feel better sometimes, you know. I've had a lot of offers recently to be fighting on this, fighting on that for life-changing money. And I haven't done it because I said no, because it doesn't sit right with me. And that's another example sometimes, not only just in training, but in life, in business, or saying no can feel good as well, you know.
And then, Johnny, just one final thing before we go. What can we expect from you in 2026?
Excitement, bums on seats, theatre, Big John, Bosch soldiers, lots of Chinese, and if I'm not knocking someone out, I might get knocked out myself, but that's what people want to see. That's why you tune in to watch Romford Ball Bosch Soldier boxing, because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to leave it in the ring every single time I fight. So as entertainers, and as an entertainer, as a fighter, that's my job. Give people their money's worth, whether they're paid 40 quid or 500 quid.
Awesome. Johnny, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you.
It, mate.
Thank you so much.